had this in the rafters. Absolutely covered in dust. And it is a burr from Australia. Rather beautiful, I must say. How much dust is on that? Oh, easy with a vacuum. Whoever bought this, they varnished the top to see what the wood would look like. Not me. I'd just like to clarify, it was not me. And this was done some years ago. It's been in my workshop for the last year and a half up in the rafters. My partner wants me to turn this into a handle so that it can be modelled in the finished piece whilst being held against a lovely lady's hip, something such similar. Weighing in at just over 11 kilos as it is. I'm going to take a bit of that weight off. I think I'm going to flatten this back off because the side I'll be working is the front face. This is rather pretty, I think you'll agree. I'm going to find the dead centre of weight, mount it appropriately. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. I would like to cut that off, run a saw down through there and save, but I think it's not quite enough wood to actually properly save. So I'm just going to go at that with the planer and take that down to a more reasonable level, because a lot of the weight is over this side at the moment, what with that hole being there and being quite thin here. So the center point, once that backs off, is going to be somewhere around here, I think, but we'll see. Joy. I don't know if you can see that little shiny object there, but I found a screw or something such similar, so I'm going to dig that out. Hopefully it's not too deep. Nail, screw, bit of metal of some sort, nice and shiny. Just check the blade, it's not actually damaged, but I will resharpen it. Got me part of a screw out of the outside of the burr. Hopefully I won't find any more. I've had a quick visual inspection, but I can't see any more. Yeah, nice little bugger. Anyway, that's out. Let's get planing down a bit more. A bit deeper. Another, what, ½ inch? Maybe a little bit more. I need to find the balance point so I can get this to run as true as possible. So I've got a nice spike in there, in the vise. Gently put that onto the spike. And find the weighted centre where it almost balances. Weight at the top, a lot of weight that side, that bit of fraction, and that's pretty good. Right. Hopefully that's marked it enough. Put my finger on the bottom there. Whoa. Yeah, I see the hole. I'm going to cheat slightly because the lathe this is going on, the chuck that comes with it, it's got nice straight edges. I'm going to use a Forstner bit in the hole there and bring it down to a nice good size Forstner bit, and I can got quite a lot of depth there to hold this on. But it's going to be at least 10 kilos now, and really I don't want a nice secure hold. So seeing as I've just bought a nice big brand new drill stand that can accommodate this, I may as well use it. So now that will do for the bottom. Nice deep chuck grip, quick finish on it. The back is not going to be seen, it's going to be on the wall. There's going to be big brackets on here as well. So I just wanted this nice and flat, flush with the depth of the front of it as much as possible, because the front is actually quite uneven as well. But I'm not touching that just yet because that will be done on the lathe. So there's my nice chuck, nice deep chuck grip. That'll go in there, tighten that up, mount it on the lathe, and then pray that I have found the central point and it's not too far off balance. The lathe is bolted down. Everything will be done up super tight. Wish me luck. Here we go. I've mounted it. I've mounted my rest, so it is crazy super tight. So even if I was to lean right on that, I cannot move it. So that's good. I haven't turned it on yet. This is literally the first. I've got the motor askew, all bolted down to the floor. If I give it a spin, it turns a few times, which means it's centered reasonably well. So, turn it on and pray. Yeah? I've got a fair bit of ghost turning to do here, where the wood comes out this end, but you virtually can't see it when you're turning, which is just this point here, and fairly ghost-like on this bit here as well. I'm going to get that front face levelled off. Wish me luck. Nicely freshly sharpened tool. I'm going to start with my ghost turning. Right, just about see the end there. Very slow approach with the non-cutting section. There we go, there's a touch. Just the very lightest. Let's have a little look-see. Just started taking that front face off, and a little bit over here. So we are fairly flat, which is good. Lovely colour, like a burnt orange underneath that nasty varnish that some silly sod put on there. I'll speed up the video, you don't want to watch me doing this really slowly and boringly going across. I do want to try and get you to see exactly this ghost turning and what I'm seeing. So let me get the camera a little bit closer on the actual cuttings. Bear with. Ooh, there's an idea. Let's have a look what this looks like in slow-mo. Now you can see I've taken a fair amount of this face off. Obviously this is still lower than those other marked places. There's not a lot of distance left to go. Okay, a few mil. Before I can think about starting to shape. See, this is the only piece out this side that I've just been turning. I can always start shaping this. Now what I don't want to do is lose the width of the piece. So I don't really want to curl that over that way. If I do, only very slightly. That's all that nasty varnish off the surface. A few little bits here and there. I'm going to mark it up now so you can see more of what the finished thing's going to look like in a minute. I'm just going to put some little guidelines. And there we have our plan of action. Small V, medium V, large V, uniformly larger, with a small space here, medium space here, large space here, trailing off to an even larger space off this side. Keep starting it as I'm making this to ensure that I've got enough room here. I want to keep that connected if I possibly can. I'll put the next bit on time lapse. Enjoy. That went well. Got all the V's in place. Reasonable tool finish actually. Now I've got to hollow these out, curve them round a nice curve, like a part ball. Turning complete. Now just a lot of sanding. It's an awful lot of sanding to do. 80 grit all the way through to 600 like this. Yeah, 5-minute job. That's 120 finished. A few more grits to go. That's 180 finished. Only a few more to go. 240 grit. Done. 320 next. Yay! 320 done. Sanded to 400 grit. Gonna get the hoover and take all the sawdust out of these cracks because next the sander sealer. Oh, too excited. The sander sealer's going on. Do you know, understand how long this sanding has taken me? I kid you not, it must have been 12 solid hours of sanding over the course of about 4 days. So there's symbolism in art. Depending on which way the art is facing, depends on what it means. Up and to the left like this means positive thoughts about the past. Up and to the right means positive thoughts about the future. Makes sense. And down to the right, like this, means contentment, happy with things. But down to the left, which again makes sense, means regrets. We don't want regrets, do we? So I'm not going to mount it like that. Wax on and wax off. Has anyone spotted my little teddy? His name is Little Dick. Have you also spotted what's written on his tummy? So I made myself some simple French cleats on the table saw. Set the saw at 45 degrees. Ran 2 pieces of wood through because then I've got 2 pieces for the back. The bottom piece works as a cushion against the wall so the piece sits squarely on the wall and there's no pressure on the French cleat, and gives the customer the option of having the piece up the other way. So they can either have it pointing bottom right or pointing top left, whichever takes their fancy. Well, I guess the last thing to do is put the stamp on and put the piece number on. Piece number 809. All that's left now is to find a box for it that it'll fit. Fortunately, here's one I made earlier. Bosh. Off to the gilder. Should I press his tummy? Tell you what, leave a comment in the comments section. If there's more yeses than nos, I'll press his tummy in the next video I make.